Hello, this is the Wise Owl 2 coming at you from the sea where I live. If you're beginning to study chemistry for the first time, actually beginning, or if you happen to be a person who just wants to learn chemistry by first studying the chemical symbols of the elements, chemical elements, and the atomic numbers, which is a good idea. Or if you want to study the periodic table of elements and you need a way to start to remember this. It doesn't matter if you go to school or not. It doesn't matter if you if you decide to become a chemist. You could be a regular person who just wants to learn the periodic table of elements or the chemical symbols, atomic number. A good way to study is by looking around you. All around you, there's signs and symbols and abbreviations and labels, brand names that have chemical symbols in them. You can start by pointing out each chemical symbol in the name. For example, you can go to a store, a supermarket, or you go to a store and buy a cake, and there's this coffee cake, and you get the Hostess. Name of the brand name Hostess is the brand name, and we spell that capital Hostess, and behold, there it is right there. See it? Let me get my pen. Capital Hostess, Hostess. Now, there's three ways to remember this. You got to pick one, but the most important thing is try to remember the TE and the SS. If you can remember these, the TE and the SS, you're in good shape. But before we do this, let's just write this down normally. Okay? So here it is. Capital Hostess. There's three ways to write this, but T and capital T and the small e, as you can see right here, and the double S, as you can see right here, stays the same in all cases. So if you can remember, this capital T and the small e and the capital S and another capital S, you're in good luck. You're in good hands there. But try to remember the HOS is where you have to pick one. A method of doing it. If you're going to remember the periodic table of elements and the chemical symbols and atomic number. Let me show you what I'm talking about, okay? We got Hostess. Now, we're going to write it. There's three ways to write this, okay? Now, you're going to notice in all three ways, the capital T and the small e and the capital S and the capital S stay the same. So you can just remember that, okay? Let's get started. The first way out of three is the regular way. Capital H, capital O, capital S, capital T and a small e, capital S, capital S. Okay? We know that capital H is hydrogen. We know capital O is oxygen, chemical symbol. We know capital S is sulfur. We know capital T and a small e is tellurium. Now, as you notice it, let me get back to this. And capital S is sulfur, like here, you have it here. And here, too, you have another capital S for sulfur. If you noticed, each chemical symbol that has one letter to it, capital H, capital O, capital S, are all capitalized. But we have two letters that represents a chemical symbol. The first letter becomes a capital T, and the second letter becomes a small e, which is a vowel, which is a E vowel, which is a lowercase letter. So you're not going to have a capital T and a capital E. You have a capital T, the first letter, and a small lowercase e. Then we're back to having one letter again, which is sulfur, and then sulfur. Okay? So H is for hydrogen, capital HYDROGEN. Capital O is for oxygen, capital O, X, Y, G, E, N. Capital S is for sulfur, capital S, U, L, F, U, R. They have a capital T and a small e. And that is for tellurium, which is capital E, small e, L, L, U, R, I, U, U, M. Tellurium, capital T, E, L, L, U, R, I, U, M. Then you got capital S for sulfur and a capital S for sulfur. So you got sulfur here, one S here, one S here, one S there. So once you have this S, this S, you can get this. You know, this one here is sulfur, and this one here is sulfur, because this one here is sulfur. Okay, that's one way to write it. It's capital H, capital O, capital S, capital T in a small case E, smaller case E, capital S, capital S. Or we can write this down. As you notice, the capital T and the small e, SS stays the same in all the cases. So that's not. But let's go. Let's do it. So we can get capital H, capital O, capital S, capital T, small e, SS. Now we go down here and we'll do it again. Capital H, capital O, and a small s. See how here we had a capital T and a small e? Here we have a capital O and a small s. Okay? And we got capital T and a small e. And we got capital S, capital S. That's another way to write it. Now if you notice, the TE and the SS stays the same in all cases, in these two cases. But the O and the S here join together, right here. Okay? Now let's see what it means. Capital H is for hydrogen. Capital Hydrogen. Capital O, the small s, is for osmium. Capital O, small s, M-I-U-M. Okay? Osmium. And we got tellurium, which is capital E, capital T-E-S. I mean, capital S. It's T-E. Capital T and the small e is for tellurium. Capital T-E-L-L-U-R-I-U-M. But as you can notice, that you also have two S's, like that you used to have over here. The two S's stays the same in all cases. So let me write this again for this. So we got the T-E, we got the capital S is for sulfur. Capital S again is for sulfur. Is for sulfur. But you notice how it changed here? You had capital H and O, a capital O and a capital S. Now here you have a capital H and a capital O and a small s. Okay? Tellurium, sulfur and sulfur stays the same. Okay, in each case. Then you can rewrite this another way. You can write the hostess, capital H and a small o, a lowercase o. Capital S, capital T, a small e, capital S, capital S. You see here? So the capital T and the small e, the capital S and the S all stays together in all three examples. So you're really working on this area here. These three letters here. So capital H and a small o is for chromium. Capital H-O-L-M-I-U-M. Then you got capital S for sulfur, which you see here, sulfur, which is capital S-U-L-F-U-R. You got capital T and a small e is for tellurium, capital T-E-L-L-U-R-I-U-M. Capital S is for sulfur, capital S-U-L-F-U-R, and again, capital S for sulfur, capital S-U-L-F-U-M. Okay? So you notice that the T-E and S-S and the S-S stays the same. Okay? So if you can remember the T-E and the S-S, there's just a matter of which one you're gonna, which way you're gonna use the first three letters. You're going to use the H-O and then a large S, or you're going to use the H, capital O and a small s, or you're going to use the capital H, capital O and capital S. in the beginning, I think this is the easiest way for the beginner. This way here, capital H, capital O, capital S, capital T, small e, capital S, capital S, if you're a beginner. All right? That's my opinion. Now, as you go along, you will notice that also when you're studying the periodic table of elements and you're studying chemical symbols and the chemical element's name, you're going to come to atomic numbers and atomic mass units. Now, the atomic number, of course, is the number of protons, which are positively charged particles in the center of the atom. And what happens is that, let me see if I can draw it for you here. You got here the center, you got here the outer shell. You got the outer shell. Here you have P for proton, and you have N for neutrons. Capital P and a plus sign. That's not a T. That's a plus sign. The plus sign is for positive charge. The neutron is not a negative or positive. It's neutral. So in the middle here, in the center of the atom, here are this are the outer shells right here, where the electrons, which are negative charge, will go around the center. So you got the positively charged proton, and the number of proton will give you a different kind of chemical symbol, and also a chemical element's name of a different kind. So if you go to the let's see if I can go here. Let me go here to the periodic table of elements. It's an old book. Let's see if I can show you here. Can I show you here? Yeah, let me just put this up here. Can I get it here? Let me see. You see right there? You see H. You see the H? And at the top of the H, you see a 1. Let me see if I can hold this up. Let me see if I can hold this up. Let me get this vase. Yeah, there we go. If you look at here on the top, you got the atomic number. Here is the weight of the atom altogether, which is the atomic mass unit right here. Now, if I can make this out, let me see if I can put my there we go, my flash on. Here's the 1, the atomic number. Hydrogen has 1. Lithium, which is capital L and a small I, capital L and small I, has 3 atomic number. Now, what that means is that lithium, which is 3 atomic number, means it has 3 P's in the center of the atom. See here? 3 positively charged atoms in the center, right here. Okay? So we can say that lithium has 3 proton with a positive charge. This is how you do it. See, and then you have the outer shells, which are this is neutrons, which are the negatively charged electrons. See how it works now? That's how you do it. So now that we know about the atomic number, now we can add them to the to everything. Now remember, I told you in hostess, you have 3 ways to say hostess. You got the now you get the capital H O S, capital T E S S. You got the capital H O S. Capital H O, a small little o, capital S, capital T, small e, capital S, and we also have capital H, capital O with a small s, capital T with a small e, and capital S. Okay, now if you notice that all this, the TE and the SS, all stay the same. So let's try to remember first the atomic number of those letters. If we can look here, we'll see that the capital T and a small e has which is tellurium, has the atomic number of 52. Capital S and capital S, well, both sulfur, has atomic number of 1616. So in all these cases, you'll see that this stays the same. So if you can remember the TE and the SS, 52, 16, 16, 52, 16, 16, you have it made. You understand? In all cases. But here it's different. Here you have the capital H, which is 1 for hydrogen. You have capital O and a small s for osmium, which is 76. Here you have chromium, capital H, small o for 67. Here you have sulfur, which is 16, capital S for sulfur, and the atomic number of 16. You got 16 here again. And again, see, 2 more S's. Okay, that's how it is. And of course, that's how it works out. Let me see, did I write the other one down? Osmium, chromium. This is chromium. Osmium, yes. Okay, well, then we have chromium. And chromium, HO is right down here, 67. Hydrogen, 1. Here, OS, 76. If you notice chromium is 67, just reverse 67 into 76. And you probably can remember this if you want to. 76, 67, just reverse the letters, the numbers. But 52, 16, 16 stays the same. 52, 16, 16, 52, 16, 16, all stays the same. So if you can remember this, you're in good shape. All right, you're in good shape. You just got to pick which 3 ways you want to remember hostess in the beginning. This way, or this way. All right. Okay. So hostess. Let me see if I can get the box back. It's a good way for you to remember the chemical symbols and atomic numbers of the periodic table of elements. Go to any store, buy a cake from Hostess, and you'll see HOSTESS, and then you just make up the atomic numbers and the atomic symbols. Just do it. Just go to a store and go, you don't have to buy it, just point to it at a supermarket. Oh, look at that, Hostess. Capital HOSTESS. Hydrogen, oxygen, sulfur, TE, tellurium, capital S, sulfur, capital S, sulfur. All you can say is capital H and a small o for chromium, capital S for sulfur, capital T and a small e for tellurium, capital S for sulfur, capital S for sulfur. Okay, or you can go capital H for hydrogen, capital O and a small s for osmium, capital TE, capital T and a small e for tellurium, capital S for sulfur, capital S for sulfur. Do that, and in no time you'll learn. Okay? I'm not trying to sell the cake or any product. I'm just trying to teach you ways that all around you there's chemical symbols. You can point to it from a distance, and excuse me, and do the work. Okay? Even cinnamon. I did a video on this. For the periodic table of elements is all chemical symbols too. Okay? All chemical symbols. So is cakes. Cakes are all chemical symbols. Okay? You go to my Wise Out 2 videos and you see under the periodic table of elements, you see cinnamon and you see cakes and everything. Okay? Capital C and a small a is for calcium. Okay? Which is what? 20 atomic number. Capital K is for potassium, which is 19. Actinium, ES, you have to change that to a capital E, the small s. I believe that's 99. Okay, actinium. I believe, let me check to make sure, because I don't want to mislead you. I'm pretty sure it's 99, but who knows, okay? Yeah, 99. Actinium. I was right. Einsteinium. That's not Einsteinium. 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 That's Einstein. And so you have it. All right? There you go. So you got the cakes. Okay? You got... See? Now this can be written many ways. Just like you can get the host from hostess and make it many ways. You can get the C and the I and the N in different ways. Okay? Everything else will remain the same. But, you know, but the S, but the C and the I and the N can be changed. Okay? You got carbon, C. You got iodine, I, capital I. You got nitrogen, capital N. Or you have, you got capital C for carbon. You got capital I and a small n for indium, which is 49. You see what I'm saying to you? And the rest stays the same over here. All right. Just to let you know, all around you there's chemical symbols. You don't have to go to school and study chemistry. You could be a regular person who just wants to learn the periodic table of elements. And you want to have a good start. Okay? And that's how it is. All right. You have a good day. This is the Wise Owl 2 coming at you from the Sea Where He Lives. Over and out.